full drum loop is usually 4 bars long. Bar number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each 1 bar can also be divided into 8 beats, meaning there are 32 beats in a 4-bar loop. Now, in your fragments folder, you will find MIDIs for 808s, hi-hats, and snares. Let's start with the hi-hats. Inside the hi-hats folder, you'll find 2 types of MIDIs, fragments and pieces. Hi-hat pieces are MIDI fragments that are 1 bar long. The position of where the pattern is placed in the 4 bars depends on the folder that it's in. A hi-hat piece from folder 2 will place a 1-bar pattern on the 2nd bar. A hi-hat piece from folder 4 will place a 1-bar pattern on the 4th bar. Hi-hat fragments are smaller, and individual rolls are 1 beat long. Just like the pieces, the position of these rolls depends on the folder that it's from. So, there are 32 folders, each filled with rolls for a specific beat in the 4 bars. A fragment from beat 3 places a roll on the 3rd beat. One from beat 27 places one on the 27th beat. Hi-hat fragments come in different shapes and sizes. Therefore, we've put them into 3 categories for ease of use. Simple MIDIs are simple, uniform rolls. Detailed MIDIs are more complex, and descend MIDIs have a distinct descending motion. Each of these are also labeled as long, short, or if they have velocity adjustments. Snare MIDIs work the same as hi-hat pieces. There are 4 folders, each for 1 bar. The position of the pattern depends on which folder they are from. 808 finishers are 808 MIDIs that are always positioned on the last bar of the pattern. These are used to end the drum loop. At the bottom, you'll also find starter MIDIs. These are used to immediately start a basic drum pattern. Let's take a look at how to effectively make a beat using the SYFER Midi series. First, either make a melody or use a loop. Today, I'll be using a dark loop made by Young Sin. Step 1. Choose your drum sounds. You can use your own drum sounds, but I'll be using some from the free drum kit included in the SYFER Midi Pack. They are classic hard-hitting Pyrex-style drums. Next, drag and drop the starter MIDIs to the hi-hats, snares, and 808s. This will quickly create a starting pattern to build on. However, I will be making this 808 pattern using the 808 Focus Expansion Pack, so I'll get rid of the starter pattern. Like the original SYFER Midi Pack, the 808 Expansion Pack splits 4 bars in 4 folders, each containing MIDI patterns for that specific bar. There are 270 total 808 MIDIs in the expansion pack for you to build your own unique pattern. Starting with number 1, I'll start off with a basic one. This will do. Now to bar number 2. Remember, when dragging in a new MIDI fragment into the same MIDI channel, you must select Blend with Existing Data before clicking Accept. This will place in a new MIDI next to the previous one, without deleting the existing patterns. Okay, this one is cool. I'll try another 808 roll pattern. This one sounds better. Moving on to bar number 3. I'll use this. And lastly, to bar number 4. I'll end the pattern with a melodic roll. maybe a different one. Okay, this will work. Don't forget to adjust the notes of the 808s to fit the key of the melody. That's better. Moving on, it's time to add some complexity to our starter hats with some hat rolls. I'll go back to the SYFER Midi Pack. You can add rolls directly into the starter pattern, but I'd suggest you clone an empty hi-hat MIDI channel just for the rolls. This will keep the interface more organized. Now, go into your empty hi-hat rolls channel and start adding some rolls. Let's go to beat number 3. This is a very common place to add rolls. Simply drag and drop, and try out different patterns. I like this short one at the start. Now let's go to beat 5 right here. Remember, select Blend with Existing Data. This fits well. Let's add another roll on beat 7, right at the end of this roll. Maybe a simple one. Yeah, this sounds good. Another one on beat 11. Over here. I'll try a couple. I'm gonna use a short one and build onto it. One more on beat 13. And another at the end of the second bar. You can also stack multiple rolls from the same beats together to create whole new combinations of fragments. I'll add 2 patterns from beat 15. Okay, perfect. We'll keep building on the second half of this pattern, starting with beat 20. Sounds good. Another on beat 22. And one on beat 27. Last one, almost done. Sounds great. I'll end the hi-hat pattern with this roll. To add even more combinations, you can layer your patterns with some more hi-hat pieces. Remember, pieces are longer, 1 bar long hi-hat patterns. Let's try it out. Maybe a hi-hat piece on bar 3 instead. Okay, sounds good. Now, let's add some snare rolls. You can use the snare rolls from the snare roll MIDI folder in the original SYFER Midi Pack, but for the snare rolls in this beat, I'll be demonstrating the Snare Sonic Expansion Pack. Like the original SYFER Midi Pack, the Snare Expansion Pack splits 4 bars into 4 folders, each containing a MIDI pattern for that specific bar. There are 274 snare rolls in the Snare Sonic Expansion Pack. There are so many options to choose from. I'll try a snare roll on bar 1. Or bar 2 instead. Keep trying different fragments until it sounds good. I'll go with this one. I'll add another snare roll on the final 4th bar. I'd recommend using the snare rolls more on the 2nd and 4th bar to layer with the 808 rolls. Okay, this is perfect. Now the drum pattern is almost done. Just need some finishing touches. Try adding some open hats. Layer your open hats with a kick and 808 to achieve that distorted Pyrex sound. Try some reverse open hats too. It pairs well with the clap. Add some kick drums. Some extra filler snares for more bounce. Also some reverse hi-hats too. Now you have a complex pattern. Just mix and arrange, and you're done. Now you know how to make a drum pattern using the SYFER series using MIDI fragments.